Good morning, multimedia at San Benito High School. This is Mr. Cabell teaching you some more cool stuff about graphic design and tools and stuff. So we're looking today at Photoshop, and we're going to make a new project, new setup, and our new document is going to be measured at 14 by 6 inches. Make sure you set to inches. Don't leave it at pixels. If you do 14 by 6 pixels, it's very small and beyond even usefulness. So we're going to use 14 by 6 inches. Go ahead and do 300 resolution. This will be high resolution, nice document size. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up 3 rows of stuff on here. So new layer, okay. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to sort of try to figure out how wide these should be. We're going to make a bunch of swatches. So I'm going to choose this. I'm going to try to get this, looking at my ruler up stuff. Now you probably don't have your ruler open. So let me just go to rulers, view, turn your rulers on. So Control R, turn your rulers on, and that will allow you to set your rulers so you can see them. So what I want to do is use this space to do sort of three rows of 5, and we're going to do 15 blend modes. We're looking at blend modes today, and I'm trying to guess on how wide that should be. That looks pretty good. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go ahead and fill that up with a basic color tone. So I'm going to set my colors to black and white here, and I'm going to use filter and render and clouds. So there's my clouds. And we're going to use this a bunch of times. So we're actually going to take this. Before we do, let's go filter and noise and add noise. Now you can, if you want to, take that and blur it up a little bit or distort it. Let me think. Let's go to filter. Again, we're going to go to blur, and we're going to go to motion blur, I think. And if we do this, right now I've got it cranked up pretty far. So I want to have just sort of like this a little bit. And I'm just trying to get the grassy feel out of this. So I want these are like blades of grass. I'm trying to use this in terms of how I might use this to create a lawn effect. So if it's 0 on the blur, I get nothing. But if I move a little bit, and I've got it moving straight up and down on the 90 here, if I go this way, my lawn is sideways. You can use whatever direction you want. It's not really that important. Try stuff out. So I'm going to get just a little bit so it moves, looking like grass. It's close enough. And I'm going to use this a bunch of times. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. And I think I can, if I alt drag it, okay, it's in the same layer. And I need to use separate layers. So I'm going to drag it down here onto the new layer button, or I can right click and choose, gosh, it's on here somewhere, duplicate layer. There we go. So give it a name. So I can take each of these and spread them out. Okay, so this is the first one. Actually, the first one should be, let's see, this is this one. Good. So the top, it's a good idea if you order them in which order they go in here. Okay, so I'm going to try to get 5 of these happening. And let me duplicate this again. Drag it on the new layer button. Okay, it's not the garbage can. It's a little piece of paper that's folded. And, oops, I think it's this one. Somewhere I've got a copy. There we go. Okay, and let's do another copy. So drag that one onto new layer. Drag it over. Okay, so now I've got all these. I'm using shift as I go. Now, it's not a bad idea to try to organize these or arrange them, space them out. You know, and sorry, I zoomed out. Control minus to zoom in. Get the selection tool again. Let's choose which one is which. And I want to keep these pretty organized. Let's see, this one is here. Now, these are kind of out of order, so it makes sense if you figure out which is which and put them in order. So this one, layer 1 copy is going to go at the top. And there's layer 2. There's the next one. Okay, that one's going to go this way. So I'm just trying to put them in order. So as I turn them off and on, it should go in order. Yes. Such as this. Now we're going to copy all those. So I'm going to select all of them and Alt drag them down. Now when I've got them all selected this way, I have now copies of them. So I've got 3 batches of these. Okay. So that's our first step. Is we've got a whole bunch of swatches and they're all in their own layers. You can turn them off, you can turn them on, show them and hide them, lock them, stuff like that. So those are all possibilities. What I want to do next is, just for organization's sake, let's folderize these because the workspace gets pretty busy if I don't organize my work. So lots of layers, right? Lots of layers. More than I want, for sure. So let's make another layer, and let's just make 3 colors. Now the blending mode option we're going to use for some of these layers is going to allow us to sort of explore what blend modes do. I'm going to try to get a grassy color here. I don't know, something like that. And with nothing selected, make sure you do select, deselect, nothing selected, and then you can use Shift F5, or you can just go Edit, Fill, and as you can see, it's Shift F5. So I should be on a blank layer there. It wasn't really wanting to fill. So there we go, Shift F5, and make sure you're using foreground color, and just click OK. So I've got this one color. Let's add another one just for fun. And let's add another one. Let's do something like yellow or blue or gray or who knows what. Try anything you want. Pick a color, any color. Shift F5, foreground color. So now I got this one. You can't see it because it's got the green one on top of it. Why would you even do that, Campbell? Why? Well, we're going to learn how about blend modes today and see how it affects different things. So one more fill color, and gosh, we've done green, we've done yellow. Let's do blue. Sure. Why not? And, any three colors you want to use, just fine. No big deal. All right. So now I've got three colors. Experiment with different looks. Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to experiment with blend modes. So opening up my group again, I'm going to take, okay, these are backwards or bottom to top, but I'm going to do each of these in a different blend mode. So if I set this to dissolve, not too much happens. Let's try next one. Next we're going to go to darken, and next we're going to go to multiply. And multiply, I know what multiply does. I'm not really sure what the rest of them do half the time, but I just find the ones I want to use and mess with it until it works. Multiply makes the white areas transparent and the black areas opaque, and everything is gray is sort of medium opaque-ish. So that's kind of a fun way to work. And darken just gives us more of this. I'm kind of liking this one right now for grass, but let's try a different mode. We've done multiply. Let's try color burn. That's kind of nice. Let's try linear burn. So we're going to try to go through all of the blend modes. Okay, so we've done linear burn. Did I do darker color already? I don't think I did. That's interesting. So it makes some areas see-through. Screen. Oh, that's interesting. Let's try color dodge. So we're doing all of them. Some of them look similar. So one thing we'll be doing later is organizing these in ways that, or label them anyways. What's one I did? Lighter color. Interesting, interesting. And overlay. And this one here is going to be soft light. No, that's interesting. Okay, and then we try, where did I do soft light? Hard light. Okay, now I'm up over here. That's kind of cool. So the question is, which would you use for grass? Okay, let's try, what did I just, hard light, vivid light. That's interesting. Go to the next one and set this one to linear light. And there's a few we haven't got to yet. Pick ones you want to work with. Now, some of these are mathematical in nature. All they're doing is they're doing math with the color values. So try stuff out, experiment. So you get to find ones that do something cool. And then your eventual goal is to figure out how can you use this to paint grass on your job. So on your school. So I'm going to take this letter thing and I'm going to set my foreground color to black. I'm going to put my name on here. And what I want you to use here is put your name, not mine. Okay, that's just silly. And you're going to use 24-point type on this. You're going to use impact, and impact is the font. Okay, so you're going to definitely use impact. Easy to see, easy to read, and when you turn it in, I'll be able to see that that's your work. Okay, so from there we're going to use File. We're going to save as. Save this in your folder. I'm going to put mine in Downloads. Yours should go in your folder in ThawSpace. So I'm going to call this Blend Modes Lab. And I'm going to put my ID number on there. So if your ID number is 32165, I don't know who that is, then you've got this, right? And then to turn it in, we're going to use Export. We're going to use Save for Web. Okay. So the Save for Web has different ways of determining what's the best version to use. And that's interesting. You look these up close. So if we set this to PG24, turn off the transparency. Okay. Turn off transparency. It actually doesn't matter the transparency right now because we can't see. You can't really see my save button, but if I hit enter, it's going to save it. I'm going to put this back in downloads, and it's save. Upload yours to the assignment. So now you've got these different versions. Now, it wouldn't be a bad idea if you went around and label these, but I'm less interested that you know what they all do and which ones look like which, then you know how to experiment with them. So you're trying to get a bunch of looks. Some of them are similar. and some of them are very different. But like just see what they do and have a way of working with them. These are used for lots of different things to get the job done, and we're just trying to today figure out how to put grass on your board game. There you have it. We'll see you in class. Do rock on, please.